Hey folks, just as a heads up, this game has blood, gore, violence, and strong language. So if you do not wish to see any of that, I would advise to turn off the video now. If you do want to watch it, then just keep watching. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, it's the Comics Kid, and welcome to Bad in Theater. So I initially played... I saw Mark play this long time ago, and I was like, I want to play that, and then I just got caught up in, my series, and then eventually I did play it, but that was when I was using the old method of how I record my stuff, and then I just, it's been sitting on the back burner for a long time, and I just kept looking at it, and, it's not the best quality anymore. And, a lot of, Inscription number 3, that wasn't the best quality, but that wasn't really a best way to replicate that, and that is something I still wanted to do. So I'm like, alright, I'll just work on that, and blah, blah, blah. But with all my other projects, I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's try it. So yeah, so I've already played this, I already know what happens, but it's been a long time, so I won't remember a lot. Plus, I just wanted to redo this to make it a better quality and, add stuff. I was like, hey, future me, can you cut this out? And then, I didn't give myself any, time to really cut it out. So I want to do that better and give myself more. Anyway, with that all out of the way, let us enter the Bad End Theater. Welcome to the Bad End Theater! On this stage, we shall be toying with fate. You shall be making many choices on our darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. But first, allow me to explain how it works. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you like. Welcome to the tutorial. Select a doll to begin the story. You are the human doll, you are the demon doll. So I got everything, and I resetted my progress just for this video. And it's, super easy to get all of that stuff. So there's nothing a super hard way to get this one thing. It might take me a while to get all of the stuff because I don't remember how to get all of the stuff, but I will get all the stuff. Let me put it that way. That's what my brain was trying to say. You are the human doll. You control the human doll. You're a friendly little guy, just minding your own business. How will you interact with the demon doll? Play nice. You try to make friends with the demon doll, but it kills you in cold blood. How ruthless! You found your very first bad ending, but don't worry, the story need not end here. Let's reset the stage and try again. This time, try controlling the other doll. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy, just minding your own business. How will you interact with the human doll? Play nice. You and the human doll are able to set aside your differences and become friends. Why, this isn't a bad ending at all. I should have written out this possibility. It's just not suited for my theater whatsoever. You know how the story goes. You can set the doll's behaviors and events. As you just saw, these behaviors will automatically be set to what you choose during your last playthrough. Now that you can turn each one on and off without having to replay from that doll's perspective, yes, my theater actually doubles as a puzzle game. Yeah, so it's basically a choose-your-own-adventure and a puzzle game in the style of, a dating sim. Sort of. And I love it. I was like, this is a really interesting game. And I'm like, it's very cute as well. Now try turning the doll's behaviors on and off to see the different outcomes. You control the human, blah, 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 blah. How will you interact it? Attack it. You killed the demon in cold blood. How ruthless. End tutorial. Reset the stage. I think there's a way to kill each other, right? You both attack each other at once and die together. End tutorial, I'm done. Do you understand how to play? Yeah, I get it. This game saves your progress automatically, so just relax and collect all the bad endings at your own pace. Now, without further ado, let's start the show! I didn't remember. I think I started with the maiden last time. I'm gonna start with the hero and just go simply left to right. You are the hero. You think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. But demon soldiers block your path. You can kill them to gain experience. I'm gonna feel like a coward. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. But you can't return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. You'll take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all. This is your job. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. I will be diplomatic. So I shall ask if I have not recorded a video in a long time. I've been mainly editing and putting in subtitles for videos. For specifically one video, it's already out, but I'm recording it before it's out. Getting all of Minecraft's achievements, #1. But I also I'm trying to put in subtitles for how I feel about House Hotel before it comes out, and my 4-year anniversary video. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you're here. They stare you down and you feel very uncomfortable, but they seem to trust you and escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. The Overlord says that she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever, at least that she knows of. You think how you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing she's a demon and all, but you really can't prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Useless hero end. So usually once you get all the endings, as you get the endings, Steam will be like, here's the achievement for getting this end. And then as you get these question marks, you will get achievements as well as this. Or, no. No. Never mind. Try to reach the true endings. It's very cute, it's very simple. I fucking love it. You are a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You are told that one day you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day because you are a beautiful young girl. Demon overlords apparently love capturing those. You think how you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't given it the opportunity? Who knows? You are in church. You pray to your God, asking why you have been born into this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You are impatient. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you understand the role a bit better if you were just to hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note and venture forth to find a demon. Just to, see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. Introduce yourself. Hello! You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. The demon suddenly jumps at you and starts biting. A lot! How painful! This plan of yours was incredibly stupid, you think. Why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything, of course. This was all your fault for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Bit by bit, you are swallowed by the demon until you are no more. Consumed maiden ending. So you can see how this dude ate her, and then that made the hero go to the Overlord, and the Overlord's like, I don't fucking know. Underling, yes. You are a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the Overlord to your friends. They agree that she is kind of a snob and totally deserves to be kicked off her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. You know, as it does. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. Let's overthrow her. No, you're sick of this Overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new Overlord. You like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take that day off like you wanted. Your friends aren't very impressed. You assure them you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. You sneak out of the castle to have some fun. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She greets you and says she has a favor to ask. You consider options. I'm gonna eat her. Mans aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought, and feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. The people are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. How dare they throw rocks and whatnot at you for just entering the town? How dare they? We haven't even done anything yet. Well, if you say that, then fucking put on a show! You attack the nearest human. He is old and weak, and his bones crunch delightfully. Your audience's screams grow louder. I can't talk now. Your audience screams grow louder. Applause! You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking the villagers down, you notice a sword-wielding hero running towards you. He takes you out in one swift blow. You're just a demon underling after all. As you die, you think, that was totally worth it. The curtain closes. Performer underling end. So, Overlord now. You are the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing off your members of your army. There's even a role called hero whose whole purpose in life is to dethrone you! What's their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans and hoped they'll leave you alone and your army alone. But they never do. You're still new to the whole Overlord thing, if you're really quite honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? So I'll redo the underling and do this again, just to show, like, the differences between these two, but I'm gonna just be a tyrant for now. You give them a lecture about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. Your servants ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. They look really unhappy with you, but you're sure they'll thank you for this later. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. You dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice and comfy overlord bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. Jeez, it just... one lecture and you have to take a nap? What do? You do? Write a signature and then take a 3-hour snooze? You fall asleep pretty quick, just another one of your amazing talents as the Overlord. You awake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. You thought you told that underling to do their job, not drag strangers into your room. Looks like they took an unauthorized break away from the castle. You scold them, but ultimately you're a little interested in this guest, just so you let them off easy. The underling's not so bad. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient thinking about her impeding capture, so she's come here to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. I wonder why. You wonder what to say. Fuck it, sure, I'll let her stay a while. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not all what she expected them to be. You are glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kinds of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans, as to not agitate them and to get heroes sent after you. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. You're surprised to hear her say thank you. You always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed, despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her about this the whole time, and that you were actually super evil all along. The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. She is! She is! Take the head! She is! You're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet you. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything is explained, the hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hasn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. I mean, it's like the base engine for everything. Like, if you don't have a heart, you have a heart-like substance, so you don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. Let them go. You are certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You'll just have to trust in that you decide. With the hero and maiden gone, you plop down onto the comfort of your luxurious overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will come back soon. You close your eyes for a while, until your door slams shut. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed by flames. What's going on? You try to escape, but something's blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out. Are you being usurped? They have zero foresight. What castle will they rule if this one burns? You don't want to believe that your underlings have betrayed you, but this is no accident. Those ungrateful bastards! You choke on the thick black smoke from the fire. You can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them in hell. Burned Overlord End. So most all of them have 10. Except for the underling. The underling only, like, I don't get how the hero and the maiden both have 11, but the underling has 9. So it's like, oh yeah, the overlord is the base. The total of how many endings they should have. Okay, so back here. I'm gonna grant the underling the day off, just to have a different flow of effects. You tell them to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to take a nap for a little while. Being the Overlord sure is great. You wake up to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. It's a maiden from the nearby village. She says her role is to be captured by you. I was about to be like, yeah, so it's like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it is, okay, I guess what I'm about to say still is true. Like, some actions you could take, like, either one, and they can bring you to a similar part, kind of like this. Like, you still meet the maiden and everything, but you don't scold the underling for bringing her. The underling didn't even bring her to me, so never mind. Yes, we've seen all of this. So I'm gonna let her be antisocial. I'm gonna be antisocial. So I'm gonna tell her to go home. Scram, you little pest! You'd love to have all the conversations in the world with your new friend, but having a human girl here would definitely cause trouble. You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost, you loser! But the maiden turns out to be very stubborn. You don't want to hurt her, but you also really want to leave her. But you also really want her to leave in case something bad happens. This whole situation is just asking for trouble, you think. Against your better judgment, you let her hang out for a little longer. Yeah, like this. Like, different dialogue, same outcome sort of thing. Alright, so human came, and now they're talking. I'm gonna keep her here. The maiden aim here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you that she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice. You destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She is frightened. You don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. You take a step towards the maiden. She backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. She wanted to stay here with you. The hero was trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now on. Selfish Overlord End. I introduced myself last time. I'm gonna shout for a hero to come save me, just because I don't think I've ever done that. I've always been polite. You yell, but a hero does not come. The demon is put off by your son shouting and asks you to keep it down. You apologize. They seem more confused than hostile, which totally catches you off guard. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them that you were thinking maybe you could understand your role a bit better if you were to hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't seem to have really been listening to you, which is a little irritating. They agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you are introduced to the Overlord. You explain why you come, and she squints at you. It turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens, or to do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out and something awful would happen. That a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe that you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be more... What? Can I fucking read today? No, I can't, apparently. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little, you realize they might not be the ruthless monsters you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving the humans any excuse to send a hero out after them. You realize that must be why you never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans. Yes, they could. And I love how... Okay, I'm just gonna say it now, but this game is like, haha, fuck you! It's LGBTQ plus positive and fucking anti-bigoted and closed-minded, so haha, fuck you! I love how they just was like, and we're gonna suddenly slip this in. You may be different, but really, they're just trying to live their lives the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I said was just to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she was to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. Kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. As you think that, a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first, until you realize he must have been sent here to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. Ye've little faith. You apologize for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez. The hero asks if you'll return to the village with him to give everyone news of your safety. Oh, fuck. I forgot I left possessive on. Okay. But the Overlord objects to the hero's suggestion. You tell her that you plan on returning soon, but she isn't having it. You feel nervous. The hero puts on a brave face for you. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You leave me no choice. The Overlord suddenly jumps the hero. She tears into him with her claws. You want to cry out, but the scream catches in your throat. You watch, because you can't look away. Had she really been lying to you all along? You wonder, is this your punishment for questioning the divine plan? The Overlord approaches you now. You back yourself into a corner. Her expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny, after all. She vows to keep you very safe from now on. You're afraid to find out what that means, but there's no one left to save you. You belong to the Overlord now. Captured Maiden A. Yeah, and then... End A, and... Like... So... There are several ways that... like, a captured maiden could end. Like, there's captured maiden A and B. They both end, like, in the relatively same, like, there's just, like, some differences type of thing. I'm going to bravely slaughter the evil creatures. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gate. You are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. Ask if they'll let me in. You attempt to explain why you've come, but the monster before you is eyeing you with suspicion. You can't help but notice the demon blood from earlier They can't help but notice the demon blood from earlier you hadn't had the chance to wash out yet. Whoops. You have no choice but to fight the army in self-defense. Oh well, more experience points for you. You make your way through the castle, fending off all the demons that stand in your way. You make it to the Overlord's chamber and hope you're still in time to save the maiden. You find the maiden being held captive by the Overlord, just as you suspected. But for some reason, you can't sense anything sinister happening. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. You know what? I'm gonna destroy the Overlord! You launch forward, driving your blade through the evil Overlord. She screams, then falls silent. The Overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. She takes it after slight hesitation. She must be surprised at how strong you are. You escort the maiden home. She's oddly quiet on the trek back to the village. She must be too shy to speak. The villagers are very pleased with what a good job you've done, slaying the Overlord and saving a hostage. They throw a huge celebration in your name. You are remembered for generations as the greatest hero the village has ever seen. Triumphant hero end. I just want to see what would happen if I shout and he eats me. You yell, but a hero does not come. Okay, so it's same thing. Okay. The hero asks if you'll return to the village with him to give everyone the news of your safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you give her a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon. You're about halfway back to the village when you feel something is off. Unable to shake your concern, you look back over your shoulder. You stop in your tracks. The castle is engulfed in flames. Is the Overlord alright? You can't return to the village like this. You have to know. You have to be sure everyone is safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even stop of thanking you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fist against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. You start to cough. The smoke is too thick. You can hardly breathe. You realize you hadn't got much time left. You desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself, but the fire spread much faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke! A maiden saving the Overlord? If you just stayed true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Selfless Maiden and B. Yeah, so they all are entangled in some way. You know what? I'm gonna try to get this one. Get, like, the off... Because the big main one is the true ending. Like, this one over... the ones all the way over here, that's the true ending. So I'm gonna try to get the offshoots before I get the main ending. The true ending. You're in a good mood today, and are rather curious about what the maiden has to say. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it would be even possible to understand each other before now. The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. Bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Dissatisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what their deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current Overlord and put a ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out, and being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead?" Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. Okay, let's kill the Overlord. You tell them that you were just joking, and clarify that you're totally in it to win it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'd be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But just beneath your shield of faux confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. That could go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance! There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on, and while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You really didn't want it to come down to this, but you can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. You sneak up to the Overlord's room, but there's a couple of humans in there. You watch the scene unfold. You aren't sure why, but the Overlord suddenly cuts the hero down. She approaches the maiden you brought to her earlier. With the Overlord distracted, you figured this is as good a chance as any. You launch a sneak attack, getting her right in the back. She flinches, giving you enough advantage to take her down. You rip the Overlord apart until she stops moving. That was messier than you would have liked. The maiden mutters something from the corner. Thank you for saving me. That wasn't your intention, but it sounds like you did something heroic. You tell the maiden to go home. This place is dangerous. She follows your advice and leaves the castle. Your castle. You are the new Overlord. Heroic underling end. Is that the one I got? Yes, it is. I'm trying to get this one. And then I should probably get these two. Okay. I think I know what to do now. Okay, so last time I put on the show, I gotta change my mind and leave. I gotta fucking skedaddle! You figure if people are this upset just at the sight of you, they won't fully appreciate any terrible acts you commit. Also, they might fight back. That probably wouldn't end well. You're just one little underling after all. This little day out has been adequately refreshing. You return to the castle thinking you'll take a nap. You don't get any sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. They're very eager to talk to you about the whole kill the Overlord plan. You admit you hadn't given it much thought, only just now remembered it was a thing. Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. I did say let's kill the Overlord last time. I'll just do this just because it's an ending. I know it's an ending. She's actually not so bad, you guys. Let's not kill her. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you, but before you can ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you.
Someone who's still loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right?
Their claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered. You already know how things like this end.
This is pretty messed up to do This is a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend,
you tell them. They slit your throat in response. Oh. Faithful underling end. Rushing you return to the castle thinking you'll take a nap. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk! I must avenge my fallen comrades! Avengers, assemble! Who does this guy think he is, coming in here and killing everyone like some maniac? What did we ever do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy driving his sword into the guard who sometimes brought you food whenever they noticed you were feeling kinda down. You like that guard. You wish with all your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing flesh from bone. It tastes like iron. The hero struggles, you feel his sword go through you, but there's no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero is overtaken. Your army has won. You have earned your rest. Victorious underling end. I haven't really shown a good way. I haven't really shown it, but all of these actions intersect with one another. You gather your courage. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. These are all evil demons anyway. The world is much safer with them gone. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your way to the Overlord's chambers. Oh. Wait, what? Okay, whatever. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. She feigns ignorance, a convincing act, but you won't be fooled. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? Oh, wait, shit. Did I leave Hungry on? Fuck, I think I might have left Hungry on. Fuck, okay. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You can only see one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You've become strong from the hordes of demons you took down from before this final battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you. You cut her to pieces. The Overlord has fallen. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within its walls. It's just as you suspected. She must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world, but what does that matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the Overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape to bring back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. Failed hero end. You find the maiden being held captive by the Overlord, just as you suspected. But for some reason, you can't sense anything sinister happening. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. That's right, I destroyed the Overlord last time. I asked the maiden what's wrong. She explained that she came here on her own and was never in any danger. She hesitantly asked why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The Overlord moves past you and out the door to see her army in lifeless, bloody piles. She's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero. This is all just a big misunderstanding. You hope she'll let this whole thing slide if you could just explain yourself. You really try, but the Overlord is inconsolable. Future me, can you explain what is this word, inconsolable? She tears you apart, and the maiden watches in silence. As you die, you can't help but think you probably deserve this. Tragic hero end. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude! You just got here! I'm going to obey her because I need to unlock all of the character traits. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He's covered in demon blood. You are frightened by the sight of him and run away. You return to the village alone. Everyone was very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions, and you tell them your story. As you explain that the Overlord had never had any intentions to harm anyone here, you notice looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You are loudly interrupted by an older man. He rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. I mean, that's not wrong, but still, fuck you. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand. You've only told them the truth. Do they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what must have actually happened. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of a hero, they ask. You could not have possibly escaped the Overlords on their own without harm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing they aren't the horrible creatures we know them to be, so they say. Have the people of your village always been this blinded by their fears and hatred of things they've never cared to know? Yes, they have! You wonder how you missed that before. It's very easy to miss it. It's a It's a fucking wild thing. You are seized by the crowds, and voices from all sides are calling for a public execution. You are burned at the stake. You don't want to die. You wonder, would it have been better to hide the truth? You don't like the thought of that. You have always lived honestly, so why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. They can only watch as you burn, and you can only cry for them. You are so sorry. Executed maiden. I'm gonna do that, but actually, no, I gotta, I'm going to, just because, like, oh my god, oh, the Overlord has got, like, no love. Don't give up. Surely there's a good ending somewhere. Sure, yes. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back towards the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity, and she runs away from you for some reason. You wonder what that's all about, but then you remember you're covered in demon blood. Not wanting to look like you're a crazy person chasing after her or anything, you nonchalantly walk back to the town. As you walk past the town square, you notice that the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly by as the flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape this sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Spectator, hero, and B. You have nothing better to do today, so you decided to nap a little while, being the Overlord. Being the Overlord sure is great. You awake to a huge commotion outside. The hero has shown up and started totally murdering your soldier. What the hell, guy? You rush outside into the battle to confront this jerkwad. You curse at him and very rudely inquire his reasons for doing all this. The hero yells at you, demanding you return the maiden you're holding captive. You don't know what he's talking about, but you can't forgive his actions. You do battle with the hero. He has grown strong from cutting down your army. You are unable to defeat him. With decisive swing, he stabs and cuts you to pieces. You fall. You have failed your subjects. You spit curses weakly. You wish you had been stronger. Maybe you were never suited to be the Overlord in the first place. Truth was, you were never more powerful than the demons who serve you. It was just the title, the control that gave you strength. These are your thoughts as you are swallowed by darkness. Conquered Overlord end. Are you pleased with your progress so far? A little bit. The maiden laughs at that, saying she won't mind being held captive here. The people in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into it or not.
She is! She is!
You notice the sounds of battle having started ringing through your castle halls. The maiden is getting nervous, but you reassure her it's only your underlings roughhousing. No big deal. You know it's probably a hero, but you don't want to upset the maiden by telling her that. Your army will take care of it. It isn't long before the hero bursts into your room. But he shouldn't have made it here. Why didn't they stop him? The hero just stands there, unsure of himself. He is covered in demon blood. As the maiden speaks to him, trying to explain the situation, you move past the hero and out the door. You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn about your castle has really taken it out of you. The hero did this? There's so much blood. Why? Did he come for the maiden? Did he think she needed rescuing? There was no one for this hero to save here. There was never any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why did it turn out this way? The hero starts babbling insincere apologies and excuses, realizing his wrongdoing, but you are far beyond hearing that kind of bullshit. You have had it with these humans, always murdering your servants for no reason. You can no longer hold yourself back and lash out at the hero. When you regain control, there's nothing left of the hero. The maiden has fled in terror. You are alone. Aw. Wrathful Overlord end. Okay, let's do that again. Was there no one for this hero? There was no one here for this hero to save here. There was never any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why has it turned out like this? You feel a sudden sharp pain through your back. You look down to see a blade protruding from your chest. Have at thee, biatch! Ah, that was careless of you. So this is how you die, stabbed in the back by some cowardly hero. What a joke. You were supposed to be the ruthless one. That's right. Humans can't be trusted. Not if this is what they're capable of. You should have remembered that before letting one in. You watch as the hero takes the maiden's hand, leading her through the sea of corpses he'd left in his wake. Captured by a demon, at least she got what she came here for. You join your army in eternal slumber. Ooh, slain Overlord end. You're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden, who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything is explained, the hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hasn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. Let him go. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust in that you decide. With the hero and maiden gone, you plop down on the comfort of your luxurious Overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. Ah, yes, that's right. So, with the true ending of all of these guys, more and more of their colors mesh. So you see how it's the maiden's purple, the Overlord's pink, and the underling's blue. So eventually, once I get all of them, all of their traits, because they have 4 traits each, orange will start appearing in this. You must have fallen asleep when the maiden and hero burst into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You're told that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised. How nice of the humans to care, though. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They are followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was that first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell at them to shut their potholes! You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone, to keep you all in your place, beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very Overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately, all you do is sleep, because you got depression. A group of demons start muttering something about going back to Plan A and suddenly slam your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die. Burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice that the maiden is crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You'll wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration, you don't even notice that you've grabbed the underling those traitors blamed everything on. They cry for mercy, saying they were dragged into this plot knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna forgive them. Just so I get another, personality trait. You release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they already got their punishment. You all burn together. Overlord's true end. Yeah, see? Before you're taken back to reset the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself? True end? You say to yourself, what was the point of all my effort if the true end is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you are. Where? This is bad in theater! Is the pain setting in? Oh, but you should have been well aware of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. This is a problem I've seen quite often. At some point you grew attached to my little cast. You started to relate to their flaws, their plights. Yeah, honestly I have. I fucking love these little goobers. You started wishing for their happiness. But you aren't going to find that in my theater, my lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue on to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave it to you, dear guest. Reset the stage. So let's go. I'm gonna go through that all again and then kill the underling. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them.
Take your retribution back.
You pierce their chest with your claws. They scream. The hero backs away. He is wise not to interfere. They stop moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. The underling's corpse burns along with you, and the two humans. Spiteful Overlord end. Okay. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back towards the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord castle is, like, right there? It's dangerous to go alone, so take this! The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out that the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. I'm gonna trust her. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you, even though her story is kind of hard to believe. You feel like you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They had been so worried. They praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for explanation. You politely inform them that this isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. I forgot about the misogynistic part in this story. Goddamn. I forgot about the misogyny. I was like, hey, fuck you, misogynistic values, fuck you. They aren't being subtle in how little they trust this main story. You totally believe her, but placatate. Future me, can you tell me what placatate means? Thank you, I now know what placatate means. These fair citizens, you volunteered to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking of what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet up with the Overlord immediately and says that they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until your return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kinda intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her down and her demon friends down already. But that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. You can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden, towards the Overlord's castle. The air becomes thick and dark and thick as you enter deep into demon territory. Evil miasma. What is miasma, future me? Evil miasma? Miasma? Blah, excuse me. No, you realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she's stopped in her tracks. The Overlord castle engulfed in flames. You had already taken an eye off the maiden for a second, but she already disappeared. You get closer to the castle, but smoke is so thick now, you think of turning back. The maiden might need your help, though, but you can barely see. She could be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Was this a trap? Would it be worth risking your life on that chance? Your legs feel heavy. No, going in there would be suicide. You'll return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Bystander Hero A. Alright, so I got all 4 of these. Good. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figured it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter Hero. He asks you what you're doing. Don't you know there's an Overlord's castle, like, right there? You explain everything that happened. He is very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. The 2 of you return to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. They had all been so worried and very glad that the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't rescued because there was nothing to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers seemed confused and looked to the hero for an explanation. He tells them he only ran into you on his way to the castle, and that this isn't really his story to tell. You explain to them how you met the Overlord and that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens or anything mean like that. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. Feel a little miffed that they seem to prefer his word over yours, but you don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes your story, but volunteers to go talk to the demons himself, just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You hear words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. You're pretty shocked that everyone is this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. An old man implores the hero to go speak with the Overlord immediately. He says you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because, of course, if you were conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let their guard down. The whole village might be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed into a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not by your fellow countrymen. Ooh. Right. Okay, so grab onto the hero and run. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. But as you approach the castle, you notice something's gone terribly wrong. It appears to be fire! Is the Overlord alright? You have to be sure everyone is safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even stop of thanking you. Did I say stop of thanking you? You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fists against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you've forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. You start to cough. The smoke is too thick, you can barely breathe. You realize you hadn't got much time left now. You desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself, but the fire has spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke. A maiden saving the Overlord? If you just stayed true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Selfless Maiden A. So that's not another ending. You tell them you were just joking, and clarify that you're totally in it to win it. They say you are always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'd be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of faux confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan! That could go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance! There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on, and while showy deaths make revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You really didn't want it to come down to this. But you can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one else has any better ideas. You sneak into the Overlord's room. She's taking a nap, like usual. It's almost too easy. You silently approach your master. She looks so peaceful. Chicken out. You don't want to kill her. You can't go through with it. You turn to leave the room, but you find your friends blocking the exit. In a panic whisper, you ask them to let you out. This seems to have been their way of testing your loyalty. You tell them this is pretty fucked up and ask again to be let out. The Overlord stirs in her bed. While your head is turned, the demon shuts the door. You scramble into the Overlord's closet to hide before she wakes up and sees you. There's nothing you could possibly say to explain this and survive. You are trembling. You can't believe these assholes would bully you like this. You feel like crying. Light flickers at your feet. It doesn't take you long to realize that they've set the room on fire. You hear the Overlord trying to get the door open to no avail. You are both trapped. Too afraid to move, you resign yourself to your fate. You and the Overlord burn together. Cowardly underling end. Okay. That's another thingy-maboober. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk! Save yourself! You look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known as far back as you can remember. You feel glad to not be in their shoes. You also feel guilty to be thinking that as you flee the castle, until you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing is expected of you. Maybe you'll start a new life, far away from any humans or demons. Well, where you'll live peacefully, alone, in some dark forest somewhere. Deserter underling end. Okay. I guess I'm gonna get the true ending first? If I'm just gonna go for the main one. But you can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one else has any better ideas. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They take off into the castle. Are they headed to the Overlord's room? Fuck! The Overlord will kill you for sure if she found out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into the castle after the humans.
And all the other demons go, haha, we get to test this motherfucker.
Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars! You and your friends soon arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you. They cry that it was all your idea and that you were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse your crazy plan. You can't believe they tell the Overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. You all shout at each other until the Overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear your traitor's friends mutter something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and the two humans. Then the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish he'd get that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You were forced into this mess. You're sure now that they would have killed you if you sided with her. To your surprise, this Overlord spares you. Or maybe she'd rather see you suffer instead. Looking around, you've gone from one dead end to another. The maiden is crying. The hero is silent. You all burn together. Underling's true end. No matter this perspective, the true ending remains the same. That's what makes it true. You couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what will happen when you collect them all. Will you give in to despair, or... But you can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. You and your friends turn to notice the maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. It'd be bad for you if the Overlord found out about this. Use the maiden for killing prizes. Toss her in the dungeon. Okay, toss her in the dungeon! You and your friends seize the maiden and bring her to the dungeon under the castle. It's empty, save for the decorative skulls. They're only there to make it feel more spooky. The maiden is very upset. You leave her in the cell to continue scheming with your friends. But now a hero has arrived at the front gates. He's asking about a maiden, perhaps the very one you just locked up. The gatekeeper, who must have seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. What idiot you think? Why give the hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? The hero yells, "Prepare to face justice!" and other such cliche hero lines, before driving his sword into the gatekeeper's torso. You're small compared to the lot of your friends, so you're able to slip away without getting cut up by that sword. You get to thinking, if the hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might actually work out in your favor. You wait for things to die down outside before poking your head out. The Overlord and hero locked in battle. They've worn each other down, making this very easy for you. Once an opening presents itself, you hit the back of the hero's head, knocking him out.
What are you doing? Couldn't you tell this was a duel?
You don't respond. You have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her, and rip her to shreds with your claws until she stops moving. You finish off the hero next. You can't let him revive and come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but it doesn't make any difference. Anyone who managed to survive comes out crawling out of their hiding places. You are the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you as you had betrayed your Overlord. Lord Underling A. That... Oh, no, there's one more. I'm just gonna get all of you out of the way, and then work on the maiden, because I've been avoiding the maiden this... for a while. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish he'd get that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You were forced into this mess. You're sure now that they would have killed you if you sided with her. But the Overlord doesn't hear your pleas. She drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it quick. Traitor Underling End. Oh, hey, yes, that's right. My love, I've been feeling a little depressed lately. Many patrons have been coming to my theater, but none so far have stayed to experience every tale in its entirety. The critics haven't been exactly kind, but I understand. My stories aren't exactly crowd pleasers. despite that, you always listen to the very end. I'm grateful for that. I hope to see you again soon. Forever yours, Tragedy. Okay. Lost letter 3. Okay, so I've gotten all of yours. Okay, so now I need to work on the maiden. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. But then a hero barges into the room. His clothes are stained by a dark liquid. It's dripping from his weapon too. You realize it must be demon blood. Something horrible has happened. The hero suddenly dashes towards the overlord, sword drawn. Protect her. You selflessly throw yourself in front of the hero's blade, acting as a shield. It's funny, you think. You never could have imagined this would be the way that you die. The rules are all switched around now, but it feels right to you somehow. You are glad your destiny turned out to be saving someone rather than being saved yourself. As your vision fades, you hope that everything turns out alright for your new friend. Sacrificial maiden end. Okay. And then I am going to do that again, so I get the other ending. Okay. Do nothing! The hero pierces the overlord, and she lets out a horrible scream. You flinch. The overlord is slain. The hero smiles and holds his hand out to you, saying it's time to go home. His glove is drenched in blood. Hesitantly, you take his hand. The hero guides you through the castle, past the corpses of his enemies. You try to keep your eyes at your feet. There's blood everywhere. You shut your eyes, but even then, you can't escape the smell. All of this was because of you, wasn't it? You exit the castle, and the hero leads you back to the village. Everyone celebrates the hero's great triumph over the demons. You feel sick, but you take part in the festivities regardless. Complacent maiden end. I'm gonna leave on my own! You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons stands just outside the entrance. They're talking about assassinating the overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them, and decide to lock you up in the dungeon before you can cause any trouble. You cry out, but the demons ignore your protests. You can't believe you escaped possibly being thrown in a cell block in your village, only to be tossed one in this awful place. This is terrible. Who's gonna keep those demons from harming the overlord? You hope she can fend herself. You sure can't. You hear the sounds of battle echoing through the halls outside. Did the hero follow you? If he's out there, your cries don't reach him. After a while, the violence seems to die down. It's impossible to tell what's happened. You continue to wait, but no one comes for you. Unable to escape, you rot in that cell. Imprisoned maiden end. They immediately notice you overheard them. The underling you recognize from before is the first to do something about it.
This is just the way it has to be!
They suddenly attack you. In that moment, you regret having ever trusted the demons. You die instantly. Slaughtered maiden end! Destroy the overlord! You lunge forward to put an end to the evil overlord, but your blade pierces the maiden instead. She has sacrificed herself to protect this demon. It takes you a moment to recover from the shock. The overlord wails.
Why did you do that?
You're not sure if the question is directed at you. The overlord strikes at you in a vengeful rage. You parry and she is slain. Your sword feels heavy. You look at your hands, your clothes, blood. So much blood. You look to the fallen maiden, wondering what to tell the townspeople. Why would she protect the overlord? She must have been brainwashed by demonic magic. You pick up the overlord's head, wrapping it in your cape, and you begin your long journey back to the town. You will say that you were too late, that nothing could be done for the girl, but the overlord is slain. There will be celebration. Loyal hero end. Alright. Only 10 more! Woo! Everything you've done has only hurt them more. Yeah, you don't need to put salt in my wound. Oh, I need to trusting, resolute, disloyal. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, let's just focus on trying to get this one first. Ask the maiden what's going on. The maiden explains that she was never actually captured and that she came here on her own volition. It was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt. So at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you to reassure everyone of her safety. But the Overlord objects to this. The maiden tries to tell her that she'll come right back, but the Overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous. As a hero, it's your job to mediate situations like these. You tell the Overlord that if she doesn't let the two of you go, you'll have to assume she's evil. You'll be forced to vanquish her.
You leave me no choice.
The Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping you. You are helpless as she disembowels you with her claws. How horrible. You came all this way only to meet with this cruel fate. You should have destroyed these evil creatures while you had the chance. Your dying wish is for the maiden to somehow make it out of this alive. Naive hero end. Okay, that's another end. Good. Let's just get all the heroes out of the way first. Before I do anything else. Before I try. Because I know I have the maidens, that grayed out maiden thing, but I don't know how to get that right now. When you reach the gates, you have asked the demons if they have seen the maiden. They have. They inform you she's being held in the dungeon at the moment. She trusts them, and in return they lock her up. So demons are truly evil beings after all. You demand they take you to her, but they do not let you pass. You should have expected as much from these unreasonable creatures. I need to turn my music down. You know what you must do. You thrust your blade through the demon before you rush the castle alone. You're the only one who can save the maiden now. Oh, that's right, she doesn't know. What the fuck are you doing killing all my soldiers? I can't remember I'm recording this game in parts, and the last part I recorded, it was so long ago, I can't remember what type of voice I gave her. What the fuck are you doing, killing all my soldiers? The Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her and all of demonkind. You clash again and again, but the Overlord isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health when everything goes black. Your quest has come to an abrupt end. Unlucky hero end. Okay, so I just seriously need to go through, and then once I get this, I could, but there's also this ending. The Overlord approaches you. You back yourself into a corner. Her expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny, after all. But the Overlord stops, or rather, someone has stopped her. Whatever held back your screen before doesn't stop you this time. The Overlord is being ripped to shreds by one of her demon underlings. You think you recognize them, but it's hard to tell with all the blood. Everyone's stopped moving now. The room is silent, save for the underlings' heavy breathing. You thank them for what they've done, even though it was awful. You feel like you've been rescued from a terrible fate. They look at you, confused for a moment, then puff out their chest.
You should probably go home. This place is dangerous.
You follow their advice and make your way out of the castle. You decide to never leave home again for the rest of your life. Escape Maiden B. You apologize for causing trouble. Really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez. The hero asks if you'll return to the safety with him to give everyone the news of your safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you give her a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon! Near the castle's entrance, you spy on a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. But the hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think? What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? The demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle, and the unreliable hero shortly follows after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time! The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in and calling you a liar. You're surprised they were a part of this evil plot. They seem so nice. The other demons come in right after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You are relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think she is very Overlord-like in this moment. A group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds on the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this. And thinking that must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. If you just pretended not to hear them, if you left as you were told, only the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. The Overlord seizes her underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. Oh, that's the little offshoot where she kills the underling and that. Okay, that's right. The Overlord spares the underling. You feel relieved, but does it make any difference? Will you all burn together? Maiden's true end. It can't end like this. Keep collecting bad endings for now. I'm gonna keep collecting bad endings because 35 out of 41. And just as you turn just in the time to see her throwing herself in between you and the hero's blade. It pierces her chest and she falls to the floor, lifeless. As the pool of blood beneath her grows, so does your rage. This hero must have taken everyone from you now. You lose control, and the hero is obliterated. But your hatred for the humans has not been sated. You go on to destroy them all and become the ruler of the entire world. Vengeful Overlord A. And thinking that must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, and you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. If you had just pretended not to hear them, if you left as you were told, only the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. The Overlord seizes her underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. But there's no point in saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are consumed by flames. Devout Maiden end. And we get another. My love! I finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Yes, that's right, I opened up my very own theater. You would be so proud if you could only see it. I know how much it would have meant to you to be at my side on opening night. I'm sorry for going ahead without you. But I thought, if my theater could become world famous, then maybe you just might hear of it. Wherever you are. Forever yours, Tragedy. So now I need to get 4 more, right? Yes, 4. You figure you may as well go back to bed now. But you don't get to rest for very long. You wake up to the sounds of battle. A hero is cutting through your army. As the Overlord, it is your job to take charge in these kinds of situations. You rush out to end this hero's pitiful existence. Vile demons! I shouldn't have believed for a second that you were anything but pure evil. I'll exterminate you all. You don't really get what he's going on about, but you engage regardless. A girl's gotta defend her people. You clash again and again, but the hero isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health, waiting for the other to make a move. When one of your underlings appears behind him, they knock the hero unconscious. You kind of appreciate it, but can't they see this was a duel? They don't respond. You sense murderous intent. Yes, because this... Of course I sense murderous intent. What does this face say otherwise? Wanting to give you hugs and kisses? Your servant tackles you, tearing you apart with their claws. You struggle to retaliate. They've done too much damage. You can barely move now. Your blood is everywhere. You can't believe this has happened to you. How? Why has this happened to you? You have been slain by your own underling. Betrayed Overlord A. And A. But I don't get to rest for very long. One of your underlings is tearing your throat out. You try to struggle, but you can't. But you can tell you're already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You remember now, you gave this one a day off, and this is how it repays you? You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Assassinated Overlord End. And now I've got the fourth letter. My love, do you remember when we first met? I had just finished one of my scripts, one I was quite proud of, in fact. As I read it out loud, you happened to pass by. What a terrible ending, you say. Why should these poor fools have to die? You were so rude. You wouldn't accept any of my justifications, and yet you managed to convince me. It really would be better if everyone could live in harmony, however unrealistic that felt. I look back fondly on that day, even now. I wonder if, somewhere, you're thinking of it too. Forever yours, Tragedy. You ask her to return to town with you, to reassure everyone of her safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You pause when you see a group of suspicious demons standing near the entrance. They're talking about assassinating their Overlord. This proves to you that demons really are foul creatures. We have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should all be destroyed. And those same creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle, and you have no choice but to follow. You burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by the group from the entrance who shifts the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? Very low. You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. I guess, yeah, true. You grip your sword tightly. If you have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety... Sorry, fucking fruit. Wow, I caught that fruit fly. If you have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. Hold up, didn't they look out a window? I guess this is the second floor, but there is one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? Flame magic! The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join in, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. She thrusts her claws into her underling's chest, and it lets out a horrible scream. You back away. You wouldn't be the next target of her rage. She continues to dig and twist her claws into its limp body. You can no longer watch. You look to the maiden. She's crying, hands clapped together in prayer. To have faith in a time like this, you envy her. The two of you, the Overlord and the underling's corpse, are all consumed by flames. Resigned hero end. And now I get to make you merciful and do all of that again! A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by the group from the entrance who shifts the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? I've already answered that. Nope. You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your sword tightly. If you have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety, you will certainly will. A group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runts of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flame. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join in, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken the hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. Is she going to kill it as retribution? It continues to cry and make excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? Yes. You guess it doesn't matter now. You all burn together. Hero's true end. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter 1. Okay. Lost letter 1. My love, it just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to force... Hold up. Congratulations, you've explored every path I had to offer. Thanks for playing. For them to force us apart like this, it's unreasonable. Cruel. I had to find an outlet for this grief somehow. So I decided to write, and I'll keep writing until the day you find me once more. And then maybe we can write a story together. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. It can't end like this. It won't end like this. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. But retracing the paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? If there's nothing you can do by acting from within their story, maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. On fire, on fire, on fire. Can I... The Overlord is burning. Oh, the underling is burning. The maiden is burning. The hero is burning. But I am not burning! You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. You did know how you could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you, but why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, the maiden, the underling, and the Overlord have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. You guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? Hi guys! I've come to save you! You explain to the group that you've witnessed their many terrible intertwining fates, and now you're searching for a good ending. Of course, this makes no sense to any of them. Only the maiden understands your compassion. My prayers have been answered. You must be... Her god? No, you're merely the player. If there was a god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these role-playing games go. Now you realize what the real true ending must be. No, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story? How passé. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way onto this stage, did you? I am the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me Tragedy if you like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You are alone in the darkness with me, Tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. Though I can't abide you stealing the show without permission. It's quite disrespectful. I'm sick of all these bad endings. I want to see something new. Are you trying to say my bad endings have gone out of style? You have some nerve. You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending. It's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. It's time to fight God. The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. Attack! You try your best to tear me down. Oh, I should probably be reading. You try your best to tear me down, but you can't seem to do any damage. You don't truly exist in this world after all. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. Wait, let me try that again. You're right. Defend. You try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Perhaps you don't understand how outclassed you are here. Just how outclassed you are here. Behold my beautiful tragic tales! Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? You witness all 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be as much of a masochist. Oh my god! Future me, what was Mark's reaction to that? I can't remember. It's been so long since I've watched that video.
You've witnessed all 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be as much of a masochist as me. I commend your thoroughness.
I commend your thoroughness. Surely these characters have a special place in your heart. They do, and that's why I'm doing this, you fuck. They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. That's right. You came here to save them. You can't do this alone. Summon the hero! You find the hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? You explain that, no, you're not a demon. How can you explain it in a way the hero can understand it? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? Oh, this? I craft all my own hero gear. You sense his pride in his hobby. You wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. You remember the state of your body and decide that, yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He is overjoyed by your answer. Apparently, his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so no one else wants them. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. I could make a living as a tailor rather than a hero. Please, tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. I agree to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. The hero has arrived. We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us. Murderer! I can't truly call myself a hero unless I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate! Ow. Your reign of terror ends here, tragedy. I refuse to give in. The hero uses his willpower to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. The hero tries using his belief in justice to fight tragedy. That justice applies to you too, doesn't it not? Will you pay for your own misdeeds? Right, okay. Let's get the heavy hitters first. You enter the Overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained to the torches on the wall. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? You explain that no, you're not here to serve her. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive with the humans like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetrating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. can't help but think it's a little late in the game to be getting some new backstory. Yeah, a little. I have no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone, to live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. You realize she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well, I will follow you. The Overlord will now fight alongside you. I see, so this is tragedy. Oh, you've brought the Overlord! I don't stand a chance now! You've prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die! Ha ha ha! I hope you've prepared to face your deaths as well! Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate! Brutality is probably the one that is gonna hurt me, so... Ambition! I'll reach my true ending with my own willpower. With my own power. The Overlord uses her ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling! You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underling is on guard duty, as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? You explain that, no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding onto their story right now. You tell the underling that you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. The underling snickers. You ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life and never get bossed around or picked on. You think of the underlings' friends who had bullied them into an assassination plot only to betray them in the end. If they kept better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the underling suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. So there's a way that even work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. The underling will now fight alongside you. Wait, what the fuck? You didn't say anything about a boss battle! The underling, You seem to be desperate to call out such an unreliable ally. Huh, if I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over. Oh, but it won't be that easy. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate! Tenacity? Knock me down and I'll just come back stronger. Underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling! Alright, so it is... Now, okay, and now the maiden. You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing. She approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that, no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are. In a sense. You've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then perhaps you might be a demon. I was hoping I would meet one today. You think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She's the catalyst of this story, after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord. But you see, I've grown tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so you ask what it is that she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt like she belonged. The true ending for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offered to change her fate. If there's something I can do to find fulfillment, then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You warned me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? Yes, I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. Then this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Ow. Ha! Now that the whole party's here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination of behaviors will open the path to your true ending? Show me! Kindness? The maiden tries to appeal to tragedy with kindness. So naive! I'll balance your kindness with my cruelty! Okay, it's hope. Ow. Our true endings do exist. They simply must. The maiden hopes with all of her heart to overcome tragedy. Ow. That's it. With everyone's heart united, you take aim toward your best possible futures. You unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. We somehow kill infinite HP into zero. Sure. Ha! Ha ha ha! You've done it! You've managed to defeat me! A tragic ending for tragedy itself! I love it! I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly! Thank you, hero! Thank you, maiden! Thank you, underling! Thank you, overlord! Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die already! Don't worry! I'll be making my exit shortly! Finally, thank you most of all! We couldn't have made it here without you! Yes, my bad end theater did contain a good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it? Yes, you were, actually. I wonder. Yes, I was satisfied. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind. Yeah, it's not. But you've earned this one. Here's your true ending.
To the lost but cold, take your seats, everyone. Welcome to bed and theater. When the curtains close, you'll come away stronger, or maybe you'll break. Not my fault you sought this pain, sharing my misery for all eternity. Labyrinth of suffering. Wandering all alone, searching for my lost love, stumbled toward bed and theater. Though its plays were cold, I still felt this warmth from them. Isn't that strange? Can't help thinking of your face. For all your tragedies, all right, happy endings. Undo all our suffering. I've missed you, my darling.
Your true end. Fair enough. Something's missing. Oh, you're still here? The curtain has closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. There are no more tragedies left for me to tell after all. Ask tragedy its story. Me? You'd like to know why I started this theater? Ha ha ha! Because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. Remove the mask. You gently raise your fingers to the cracks in my mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart into your hands, revealing... Ah! I should have warned you. This might affect what you think of my stories. You can't help but compare my face to the maiden's. I'm not her, but it's not like she isn't me, necessarily. That's just how it is with fiction. I get it. Would you like to hear not an ending, but the truth? Tell me. Alright, one last story. You may already know this, but it doesn't have an happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there is no such thing as demons, or even heroes, really. There was a girl eager to set out to fulfill some sort of destiny. That part was true. She met someone, another girl. Haha, a running theme, isn't it? The maiden and the overlord.
Lesbians!
The two were inseparable, and for a time, everything was just wonderful. But their families, the communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. That is a reality for many. This pair was no different. Despite their best efforts, the world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to like the types of stories where love conquers all, where the strength of your love will pull you through any hardship and everything is okay in the end. I lost her, and then I started this theater. But this story does have a happy ending. Huh? I was hoping to find you. It's you. It's been so long. I thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I wasn't about to give up just because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I feel like such a fool. I could say the same to you. You knew I could never resist giving your stories a happy ending. So of course I would be drawn to a place like this. Yes, but I didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out okay in the end. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love you. I love you too. Ah, now truly everyone can live happily ever after. Tragedies end. And that was Bad End Theater! I fucking loved this game. It's so goddamn cute. Anyway, I've showed everything. This game is fucking wonderful. I can't remember if it's free or not on Steam. But it's so cute. It's like, oh, this is a cute game. And it's like, oh, this is a message about homophobia and such. Like, oh, it's sneaky. It's such a cute game. I fell in love with it ever since I've watched Mark's video about it. I would definitely recommend this to people. Like, if you just want a cute little game. I like beat it. Like some of the endings is a little bit tricky to get, but it's a relatively easy game with such a cute design and really good and interesting characters and stories. The song in the end, I fucking love. I fucking love that song. I know Matt Pat also played this on GT Live. I haven't watched that. I'll probably watch that sometime soon. But yeah, definitely go play this. This was adorable. So thank you guys so much for watching this. If you guys liked it, please leave a like, hit subscribe. It would really help me become a big YouTuber star man. That is what I want to become in life, and that is currently what I am working towards. Ring the bell for notifications to see more videos, because this was a one-off, because I've done everything in this video and this was a one-off. So there will be other videos that come out. I have some active playthroughs that I'm doing. Some of those are Marvel Rivals, Bendy and the Dark Revival, getting every Minecraft achievement, Broken Age, and Our Life Beginning and Always. Some finished playthroughs if you just want to binge an entire playthrough, or if you only have time for a one-off like this. Some of those are Haunt the House, Indigo Park, Verlet Swing, Bendy, Secrets of the Machine, and Boris and the Dark Survival. So with that, I will see you guys in the next issue. See you.